So this is what a swarm looks like. It's only halfway through March. They're swarming already. Today would have been my weekly inspection, and I may have been able to prevent it, I may not, but once they start and they're at this point, there is no stopping them. It's just part of the natural way of how bees survive, by splitting the hive. Get a bit closer. So the hive was full, but the top frames, the super frames, last week they were not full. Bees can do a lot in a week.
It makes me sad.
If they land close by on a low enough limb, I can use one of my swarm traps to try and trap them. But it's only mid-March. Last year, with my first year as a beekeeper, I got the bees early April, and late April they swarmed. They swarmed on a limb that was 60 feet high. So we just let them do what they did, and they requeened the hive. But right now it's only mid-March here in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is what's known as an early swarm. I do have swarm traps set up at the other side of the garden. With a bit of luck, they will go into one of those. I do have a swarm commander in one of them and lemongrass in the other. So they have clustered, and luckily for me they've clustered low enough that I should be able to get them into the swarm trap. They're on a flexible limb, and then the main part of the tree. I should be able to shake the majority of them into the trap. Not a huge swarm, I could tell that watching it, but I've got a swarm trap on the other side of the property. I've just opened up two of the hives down here, so the scouts have got lots to look at real close by. I'll give them an hour or less if they haven't already chose one of the trap or the two hives down here. I'll see if I can help get the swarm trap from the other side of the property and see if I can shake them down into it. We'll see. There's the cluster. What a bad little swarm. Maybe, I guess about 3 pounds of bees maybe. So this is where I've got the swarm trap set up. We're about 175 yards away from where the cluster is in the tree. I haven't seen any activity yet. I'll just keep an eye on it. So I've opened up these two hives, and I put some waxed, about 4 or 5 waxed frames in the center, because when they're searching for a new home, you want a little bit of a cavity where there aren't frames, because bees, when they're looking for a home where they can expand, so they're looking for some cavity space, and that's why you only put so many frames in. If you fill them up with frames, they immediately know, okay, this is we can only get this large in this hive, so we might not pick it, and that's why you only put a few frames in. But they're definitely favoring these two hives over here that I've opened up. There's lots of action on both of them, and of course it makes sense, I guess, to them. They're so close to the cluster, which is just up in that tree there. I'm gonna give them about 45 more minutes, and if they haven't chosen either of these two hives, and I do have some lemongrass in the back of both these hives and a few little rub on the landing pads, and then right over there, just on the edge of the property, I have another swarm trap, which if they haven't chosen in an hour or so, I'll grab the swarm trap and see if I can shake them out of the tree and then transfer them into one of these hives. I really would like to catch that queen, because I know that she's a good, strong, overwintered laying queen. So I've tried to cover all my bases, having these hives ready. And also my swarm trap has been out a week or so, because I know that sometimes you will get an early swarm, and of course here we go, 20th of March, and they're swarmed. We seem to have more attention on the rear hive, and that's because they're old frames with you can smell the propolis on them, and they smell like bees, and they seem to be favoring that one over the one on the front here, which is a completely new hive. It does have waxed frames in, but that one also smells like bees. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to get it on video if they do it voluntarily. If not, I'll set up the video and see if I have any luck shaking them out of the tree. We'll open it up and see if they'll start fanning on the top. They are clustering inside which is a good sign. That could mean that the queen is actually in here. But of course the lighting is wrong and my eyesight isn't great. Well, they are clustering inside, which is a good sign. Time will tell. I've got a bee on my phone. Hey bee. I don't know whether I have the queen yet or not. That cluster seems to be holding on. Let's see if I've still got a box of bees. Oh yeah, we got a box of bees. I think we did get her. I'm pretty sure that if we hadn't have got her, they would have started going back to the cluster. So it's been about, I don't know, what has it been? A couple of hours. The cluster in the tree is extremely small and depleting all the time, so I'm pretty sure I did get the queen when I was dropping them into the hive. What I'm going to do now, I've got 95% of the bees in the box. I'm going to put the box on top of the hive down in the, I'm going to call it my mini apiary, and let them just settle down for today. And then tomorrow I'll swap the frames over into the, yeah, we got a little bit of weight, so there's some bees in there. I'll swap the frames over into the hive and I'll put my swarm bait box back in place. I'm very pleased that I was prepared for this. So there's a few stragglers left in the tree, less than 5%. The rest are in the box. Like I say, I'll let them settle down tonight and then swap them over into that bottom hive tomorrow. And I've been able to save a strong overwintered queen that's a great layer. Such a great layer that the brood box was so full they swarmed early. I do have a excluder above the brood box, 2 supers on. And I did do an inspection a week ago. They had plenty of resources. I didn't go into the brood chamber, but they had plenty of honey. And today, I was going to take some honey, but instead, I had to deal with this swarm. I don't mind dealing with a swarm if we get to keep them. So the original hive now will birth a new queen. who came from the good queen, who's now in there. So we've got two strong hives. Hopefully the queen that hatches in the original hive will be as strong as the queen that just swarmed. And then we'll have some nice, calm, gentle bees that produce some great honey. The original colony never stopped bringing in pollen throughout January, February, December, which is why I was going to take some honey. I didn't take any honey last season, and they always say don't take honey in your first year, leave it to the bees to get them over their first winter. Well, they got over their first winter and did it with a real strong queen, so all's well that ends well. I'm super pleased. Very fortunate that it happened on a Sunday afternoon. We were here in the garden working and saw it, because the cluster was such that neither myself nor my neighbour would have noticed it. So thanks for tuning in. Please do subscribe to the channel. Like everything with YouTube, even from newbies like ourselves, you can learn something. Please subscribe, it helps us create content, and we'll see you on the next video. I would be in front of the camera putting my thumbs up right now and smiling ridiculous, but I'm behind it and the bees are in front of it. See you next time.